Hey nerds, what's up? F Moash. Okay, I'm actually going to try to discuss this logically, but honestly, Moash apologists, I can just not get you in Rhythm of War. I don't know if any of you are still apologizing for him. I'll give you Oathbringer, but I cannot give you Rhythm of War. It's just awful. Honestly, it started off somewhat okay. When we first really interact with Moash, it's in the burning building with Kaladin, and he confronts Kaladin and basically says, look, you were gonna save Roshone. He killed your brother. How could you do this? And honestly, I feel like Moash has a better reason to want revenge on Roshone than he did on Elhokar, so I'm okay with this scene. It feels like the differences between them and how Kaladin wants to save everybody. But then Moash tells Kaladin to literally go kill himself. Are you kidding me? And then he goes to Odium and is like, hey, I know where to dig the knife deepest into this guy. I know how to hurt him the most. Let's give him nightmares of his very worst things. And then he kills Teft and his spren. And then he tries to kill Navani. And then he has the gall to say this direct quote, which is, he wasn't sorry for what he'd done, he was only sorry for how his actions made him feel. Look, I'll give you guys Oathbringer. I get it. I get that he was a complicated character. But there is just no excuse for Moash anymore in Rhythm of War. He is a terrible person. In Oathbringer, I could maybe argue that he's just an antagonist and there's a lot of morally gray there. In Rhythm of War, he's a full-on villain. And it's not just because he serves Odium. You've got Rabboni and Lushi, who both serve Odium, who both, even at the end, don't want to go for the human cause. But they aren't straight villains. There's a lot of motivations there. There's something different. Unlike Moash, who is literally a burning piece of garbage in this book. Whew. Okay, now that I've got that off my chest, I can admit that Moash is a great character. Can we all admit that? He's awesome. I'm super interested in him from a literary perspective. The contrast he gives to Kaladin, and now I'm really feeling like the contrast he gives to Dalinar. You know, I would argue that Dalinar has a much worse past than Moash that he'd want to forget. He caused so much pain to others, and he also received a lot of pain. So it's very poignant that at the end of Oathbringer, Dalinar is telling Odium, you can't have my pain, despite the fact that it's so much. Moash has dealt with a lot of pain too, but he just gives it up so easily, you know, and that contrast is a super interesting literary device. Like, I'm very interested in where Moash is going. And you've also got this kind of cool thing where Moash is wearing all black in this book, and I feel like that contrasts with Seth, who wore all white, and I do think there's some contrast in their characters and some similarities, so that's kind of a cool contrast to look at. I'm also really interested in his ending, the way that he starts feeling pain again and is running away. Like, is he gonna have to have the fallback from killing Teft? He seemed to really start feeling the pain. Of course, then he says he's not sorry for what he did, but whatever. I'm really interested to see where he goes in the next novel, especially now that he's blind. Can anyone explain that to me? Why is he blind? Is he blind just because of his fall? Is he blind because Odium switched vessels? Why can't his Stormlight fix it? It must not be because he fell. So I'm curious about that blindness. Let me know your comments below, like what you think that is, because I'm super curious. Also, if you were a Moash apologist in Oathbringer, please blow up my comment section. This video is mostly for jest. I do actually want to hear your opinion if you still think he has the right to do what he's doing in this book, or if you feel like you can no longer give him that distinction in Rhythm of War. Personally, I feel like his actions were terrible, but I do want to hear if there's an opposing side, so drop in my comment box. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to see what I'm currently reading, you can check me out on Instagram at bookborn.reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye.